What do you need to think about if you decide that external coaches will meet your organisation's needs the best? The objectives for this session are that at the end you'll be able to evaluate the use of external coaches in an organisation, identify the factors to consider in choosing an external coach, and compare the uses of internal and external coaches and make appropriate recommendations. Write down why you think an organisation would choose to use an external coach. Some of the answers you may have given might have included these factors. Firstly, that external coaches are often qualified to handle a much wider range of contexts and issues, and they'll probably have more experience in a wider range of situations. Then, people who are being coached often perceive external coaches as being more objective and less judgmental than internal coaches. This is because they are seen to not be involved in an organisation's results or politics. If you use external coaches, then you'll have a much wider choice of coaches, and to help you choose the one that will be the best for the results that you want to achieve. People who are coached are often more happy to be open and honest with an external coach. And external coaches are usually qualified to handle more deep-rooted issues, and you can find specialist coaches to suit your particular needs. For example, there are those who specialise in sales coaching, career coaching, and coaching those who are returning from maternity or paternity leave. External coaches are usually responsible for their own development, so unlike internal coaches, the organisation does not have to pay for coach development or supervision. External coaches are not part of the organisation, and so are likely to be more impartial and able to take a more objective stance and to start from a place that is not cluttered with history. What sort of issues can external coaches be used for? Horner looked at the uses made of coaches in executive coaching. He discovered that it was mainly used for issues related to impact or influence, for people who are transitioning to another role, for bringing about cultural change, for issues of self-awareness, for issues about the impact on others, to reward people, and finally to develop soft skills. So what will you want to consider in choosing an external coach? Well, firstly, there's fit and alignment with the organisation and its vision. Do they role model the values of the organisation? And do they share and agree with its vision? Then there's qualifications. What are their qualifications? Are the qualifications recognised? What level of coaching does that qualify them to do? Does that fit with your requirements? Next is experience. How much experience have they had in the coaching field? This is usually measured in coaching hours. Then there is the breadth of coaching tools and processes. What is their breadth of coaching tools and processes? Have they qualified in one method, or have they a wider breadth of knowledge and experience, which may mean that they can be more flexible? Next is specialist knowledge. Do they have a specialist area of knowledge to bring, as well as their coaching skills? And would specialist knowledge be important to meet your requirements? Then is the match with the client. Will the coach get on with the proposed client? And will the client be happy with this match? Another factor is feedback from previous clients. What feedback and evidence can they provide from previous clients that they've worked with? And then there's the results from previous interventions. What results have been achieved from previous coaching that they've undertaken? Then there's professional indemnity insurance. Do they have professional indemnity insurance, and what level of cover do they have? And finally, the use of supervision and CPD. What do they do to continuously develop themselves? Write down the skills and qualities you would look for in recruiting an external coach. Here are some that may be important to you. That they can easily create rapport with their clients. That they have outstanding listening skills and the ability to pay attention to changes in a person. That they're able to ask questions in a way that will challenge the client and help them find solutions for themselves. It's important that a coach is flexible and is able to adapt their approach to the client in front of them. A coach will want to be curious and inquisitive so that they'll want to find out how the person being coached is reaching their current results and curious to help them find different approaches. The ability to inspire and motivate is essential in a coach so that their clients leave the sessions fired up and ready for action. And although this isn't often thought about, it is my opinion that much learning in a coach comes from role modelling the coach. It's also important for creating rapport, as clients will quickly realise if a coach is not in alignment themselves. A high level of self-awareness is important in a coach so that they're aware when things are limiting them and so that they can develop themselves. Creativity is linked to flexibility. The more creative a coach is, the more they're likely to be able to create the best approach to coaching for the person that's in front of them. And you'll want a coach who is capable of influencing all types of people and someone who's capable of giving motivating feedback to their client. And trustworthiness is probably one of the most important factors. If a client is to discuss and get help with transformative situations, then they'll want to be able to fully trust the person who's helping them. There are some things that are useful to consider when you are employing an external coach, and these are to do with the state of the coaching profession in this country at the moment. That is, in 2011. It's still in its infancy, and as a result, the coaching profession is largely unregulated. There are many professional associations, but few that are widely recognised. So although someone belongs to a professional association, it's worth researching the association. There is no widely recognised qualification. There are universities offering degrees, and there are many different approaches to coaching, and often these approaches will have their own qualifications and regulations. There are no profession-wide ethical standards, although many associations, etc., are signing up to ethical standards that are similar to those of the British Psychological Association. There are no profession-wide CPD or supervision requirements, and some professional associations have extensive requirements and others have none at all. Here are the most common theoretical approaches to coaching that you may come across. You may want to further research some of them. Write down a comparison of the use of internal and external coaches. And then create a guide for people to use for choosing a coach in an organisation.